everyone, I'm Donna Louise and welcome to my YouTube channel for the love of puzzles. I was out volunteering this morning for Dog Rescue Dunedin. They help rehome dogs that are left at the pound, and I've spoken about this before that Thora and Odin were both pound rescue dogs. So I was doing that this morning, and then what better way to complete your afternoon but by speed puzzling? Yes, it's time to keep practicing for that competition I'm doing in February 2023, speed puzzling. Now, I have friends who are coming to the competition with me, and they are actually speed puzzling the same puzzle right now. They started a few hours earlier, but I was busy this morning, so they've already got their hands into it. This is a Ravensburger 1,000 piece called Grandiose Grease. Now I know that a lot of people are saying, why 1,000 pieces? Well, the competition we've entered, we have 7 hours to do 1,000 pieces. I know typically it's 500 pieces, but this is more of a marathon than a sprint, and it's quite a bit, we will admit, it's quite a bit. Now I've left the plastic wrap on because part of the competition and the time is you have to take the plastic wrap off the box. So I'm going to practice that technique, that plastic wrap removal technique. So we'll see how that goes. I'll pop up an image of the box though, just because I know there's probably glare from the cameras. Let's talk a bit about strategy. What do I think I can do here to try to optimize my speed puzzling time? Now, first of all, it's an illustration, which I love, so that's in my favor. It has busy areas like all through here, but it also has areas that are quite maybe easily sortable, like the sky and the water, a bit of the cobblestone work. So I'm trying to decide what my approach should be. And actually my friends, once they're done, I'll get their times and I'll talk to them as to their approach and whether they thought it was good or bad or if they could have improved. And I think we all puzzle quite differently. So that's interesting as well. It'll be nice to see our approaches and our times and what we think worked or didn't work. But yeah, but remember, this is all for fun. We just love doing it and I hope you enjoy the video. I'm thinking, once again, I just cannot bring myself not to go through every piece. And I don't know if that is to my detriment or not. But I'm thinking, sort the pieces and build as I go. If I can quickly figure out where the piece goes, approximately put it on the table where it should go. Maybe for the sky and the water, put those pieces at the side, leave them till the end. Because those will be quickly noticeable and I can just pile them up. Perhaps if I see the birds or whatnot, or maybe a bit of the red in the water. But I'm thinking build as I go and literally try to find where the piece goes and put it approximately on the table right away where it goes. Leave maybe the sky and the water till the end. This is always like my initial thought process, but who knows once I get going what I do. I might find it too hard to build as I go. But that's my initial thought. What do you think? How would you approach this image? Would you try to build as you go? Would you sort? I know a lot of people love spreading out all the pieces all over the table, and I don't think I can focus. I did think of one thing. What if I dumped all the pieces in the bottom of the box and then I can pick through pieces quickly? That's an idea. Should I try that? I don't know how I'll feel. I could try that, maybe, because then you could quickly pick out the sky and the water pieces and the mountains. Okay, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm having a lot of issues deciding here. My goodness, I don't know, I'm so set in my ways for certain things that trying to do something else really causes me a bit of anxiety. Because normally I like keeping the pieces in the bag and they're contained and just taking out a few at a time. I feel like I have control over it. Dumping them all in the bottom of the box, which I believe is what Kristen did at the Spain competitions, and then they would pick out pieces in the box, and I think they would actually leave the box for some pieces they left in the box, and that was a means of sorting. I don't know. I don't know. I guess you'll just have to watch the video and see, because I can't decide if I'll dump all the pieces in the box or not, or if I'll leave them in the bag. Okay, well, let's just get right into it. I'll set up my timer. Now, just remember, I have to reset my camera every 30 minutes. So I do have a timer that warns me it's time to reset my cameras. You will see on screen my puzzling timer, which will be completely accurate. If you notice sometimes the time jumps a bit, it's just between the time of resetting the camera and getting all going again. That's all. But the puzzling timer will be true and accurate to when I'm actually puzzling. And yeah, let's just dive right in. It'll be interesting to see all our approaches and how we do, but let me know in the comments below, how would you approach this image? Okay, so for the love of puzzles, let's get to speeding. No, we shouldn't speed. That's for the love of puzzles. Let's get to speed puzzling. You know what I mean. For the love of puzzles, let's just get to it. So my strategy was, well, one, I did dump the pieces in the box, and I tried to like pick out pieces from the box, and I just couldn't. I felt chaotic. And once again, maybe it's my eyesight. I just couldn't focus trying to look at so many pieces at once. So I stopped that, and I did my technique of grabbing a few at a time, That was really good. What I did with those pieces, as I grabbed a few at a time, I decided the busy parts, like the boats, the buildings, the awning, things that I thought I could build, I sort and build. So basically, yeah, I thought I knew where the piece went and I put it there. So when I had to do my first camera reset, I felt like, what am I doing? This isn't working. What's going on? And then any piece that I got that was either sky, water, mountain, or some of the flowers, I sorted them out and put them to the side. If I could easily assemble them, I did, like the border, but I said I'll leave those. So I concentrated on one big large area to build as I was sorting, and some other areas to just sort out the pieces and deal with them at the end. So I was feeling a little deflated because I thought, I don't think this is working well, but I've started, I got to keep going with it. And then all of a sudden, it's maybe a process that is a bit slow going, but then it just boom, 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 just came all together. And in fact, I actually really liked the box, because once you get through like so many pieces, I then was able to flip up pieces in the box, like spread them out, look at them, and grab pieces like, oh, sky, 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 put them over here, water, water, water there. Oh, this is a piece of the boat, that's that building, this and that. And I could be selective, and it was really good. Now, I will admit, for me, one thing is I'm very visual. So at first, not knowing the image because I didn't study it, it took a bit of time, but then I don't have a, photographic or whatever the term is, memory or anything, but close. I'm pretty good at memorizing stuff. And so I would pick up a piece and go, yep, I know where that goes. I know where that goes. I know where that goes. And I literally was just grabbing pieces after a while and putting them down, putting them down, putting them down. That works for me. So that's really cool. I would feel if I just kind of sorted all the pieces, I would probably waste time. And then, though you're getting tired, your back is aching, and I left, the flowers, the mountains, the sky, and the water till the end, and also a bit of the cobblestone, because that's where the flowers were. So I'm not sure if I explained my technique correctly, but I call it my build as I sort. I kind of pick an area that I'm going to try to build as I'm sorting pieces, and then areas that are maybe more, well, I guess they're more solid. They're not exactly solid color, but you get the point, like the sky and the water. Leave those to the end. Should I have done them first when I'm not as tired and my eyes were more in focus? Maybe. But I took the advice that do the easier parts first, and then you have something to build off of. Shelley completed the puzzle in 5 hours and 29 minutes. Now, we need to note that she had not puzzled in quite a while, and she said she felt quite rusty. She had also worked a late shift for 7 hours the night before and wasn't well rested. On top of that, her back was already hurting before starting to puzzle, so I can only imagine how sore it was afterwards, because my back, just kills me afterwards. Now, unfortunately, she won't be able to make it to the competition in February with the rest of us. This is what she wrote. She said she did love speed puzzling though, and she felt it was a very supportive environment with Fre and Mona-Lynn. Quite a mental game for me towards the end, once the others had finished. I did borders first and a little sorting, kept pieces in the box for a while before I bit the bullet about 30 minutes in. I should have started by sorting out of the box initially. She wrote that hers was what she called the chaos method, and that she soon ran out of space on the table. Fre completed the puzzle in 4 hours and 21 minutes. She wrote this to me. I am happy with my strategy. I sorted pieces as I turned them over. Sky, sea, plants, flowers, and the rest. I did the sky first, then the sea, then the large house, then flowers at the bottom, then those at the top, then the paving, and lastly the smaller houses in the middle. For me, the most difficult part, and where I think I wasted time, was the paving. I think I referred to paving as cobblestone also as well, same thing. And possibly the mountains, which I did last, now that I think of it. Not sure how I could improve, to be honest. I battled to puzzle using both hands. That would be quicker. And then as I go along, I get slower, like I get relaxed and into a rut and then lose speed. So I need to work on keeping the tempo up towards the middle and end. Mona-Lynn completed the puzzle in 4 hours and 8 minutes, so she was very close to Fre's time. She wrote this to me. I don't do the whole border at once, as I find it pushes the pieces too far away from my work area. I generally do them in 4 long strips and put in sections of it as I need them. Here's what I did for this puzzle. Turned all pieces over so I could see them, sorted out border pieces. Put together the border for the sky, started picking out the pieces for the sky and did it. Put together the border for the water, then did the water in the same way. Put together the rest of the bottom border and a bit more for the bottom left flowers, and she did those flowers. She felt the flowers were challenging. At that time, going section by section wasn't going to work anymore. I started working on several different things at once: boats, tablecloths, sidewalk. Eventually got stuck into the sidewalk, which I think, again, the pave or the cobblestone, all that same area that we're talking about. She said she found that quite hard. She placed in the rest of the border, did the orange building, finished remaining buildings and sidewalk gaps, ended with the mountains. She said she thought that was quite challenging, and she was glad that she left it till the end. To get an even faster time, were I to do it again, I would pre-sort the sky, water, flowers, sidewalk, mountains, and leave the rest to do organically. I spent a bit too much time moving pieces around, especially as the table wasn't super smooth and the pieces were stacking as I pushed them aside. I don't enjoy sorting, but for speed, I think it would be the most efficient, at least for this kind of puzzle. I also hardly ever look at the box, as I find it distracts me from looking at the pieces. I'm so proud of my time. 3 hours, 13 minutes. I can't believe that. I never expected to be that quick. I am super proud of that. I do think several factors. I felt refreshed. I wasn't tired. I loved the image. I thought my method of sorting and building as I went worked perfectly for it. Now, a couple of comments based on what Mona-Lynn, Fre, and Shelley all said. First of all, Shelley, being tired and having a sore back, that's not going to help you at all. She was at a disadvantage because I know your eyes get tired, you're focusing, you're hunched over. It really takes its toll. In fact, it's been a few days and my back was sore for almost 2 days after doing this one. It's like the faster I puzzle, the sorer my back is. Then also, Fre mentioned trying to use 2 hands to puzzle. That's tricky. I typically use my left hand to pick up some pieces, spread them out, but really my right hand is my dominant hand and that's the one I puzzle with. I do wonder if we could perfect or improve our technique of using both hands if that would help. And also, what was it, the other thing she said? Keeping up momentum. There is quite a difference, I feel, between speed puzzling a 500 piece and a 1,000 piece. 500 piece is like a sprint, but a 1,000 piece really is a marathon. I don't think I'm good at sprinting, but I think I'm getting there with the momentum of doing a 1,000 piece. But you get tired. You're talking hours. Your back hurts, your eyes focusing. It's quite a deal to try to keep up the momentum, not get in a rut. And that's where you have to like switch up what you're doing if you're stuck. And that's why sometimes I sort pieces by shape if I get stuck. It just gives me a break from puzzling, from like assembling, move sections, you know, because it's quite a lot of time when you think about it. And I do wonder if there were people who are great at doing 500 pieces speed puzzling, how well do they fare at 1,000 pieces? Or someone who does really, really well at 1,000 pieces maybe won't do so well at 500 pieces. Just curious. I mean, you know, as in running, sprint versus marathon, very different. And then Mona-Lynn. How does she not look at the box? I don't know. I mean, I know I concentrate a lot on the box, and for like the first hour, I'm very focused on the box, but then I do have quite a good visual memory. And after that, I was really getting into knowing where pieces went. The fact that she hardly ever looks at the box when it comes to speed puzzling, I just think she would knock it out of the park if she used the box more. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I understand when just puzzling for fun, a lot of people don't like looking at the box because they want to be surprised and have the image develop and just the joy of puzzling. But for speed puzzling, do you think looking at the box would help? I think it would. I think I'd be lost without the box. But one thing I definitely know is that we all puzzled quite differently. Fre and Mona-Lynn maybe had some similar techniques. They both did the sky and water. I left those till the end. Doing harder sections, or what you feel is harder sections for you, should you do them earlier or later? I typically do them later because, like I've said, some advice that was given to me was do the easiest parts for you first so you have something to build off of. I don't know. I do believe that there's not one best technique. There's just the best technique for you. And I do feel it's very much image dependent. Like, I would not do a different puzzle the same way maybe that I've done this puzzle. And also, certain people are better at doing certain images. If you give me a photograph without a focus, like background area, oh, I'm lost. Done. That's it. No. That, my eyes go cross-eyed. I can't do it. I don't enjoy it. And it's really tough for me. So there's so many factors that come into play with speed puzzling. And right now, my time has ranged from, this is my fastest for 1,000 piece, 3 hours, 13 minutes, to what was it, nearly 5 hours. That's quite a range because it's still 1,000 pieces. But it was just so much fun. And I really want to thank Fre, Mona-Lynn, and Shelley for speed puzzling with me. I think we're going to try to do it again. The difficulty is just trying to get 4 copies of the same jigsaw puzzle. The other thing was I was by myself here, very little distraction, where they were all together. And Shelley made a comment that, you know, when you're at a competition, say, and you start hearing people around you finishing, it really is a bit of a mental game. Like, you might start to panic or worry or freak out or be like, oh, I have no hope. I might as well, you know, not bother. So it's more than just physical, it's mental. I mean, but it's lots of fun. And I'm glad they were all together. I wish I could have been with them. I can't wait to do the competition with them in February. We'll hopefully try to just puzzle as well the night before or maybe afterwards, just for fun. And I do hope we'll be able to find some puzzles that we can all get our hands on and do another race together. It was just a joy. I really did hope they would have a team event this year at the competition, but they don't. Although I could just imagine like Mona-Lynn trying to turn over all the pieces, I'm trying to keep all the pieces in the box. I'm hugging the picture on the box, but Mona-Lynn's like, whatever, I don't need the picture. Fre is just going along. I mean, would we work well together, or would we just drive each other crazy? I have no idea, but it would definitely be fun to find out. So I want to thank them again for doing this with me and for sending me all the photos that I've included in this video. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you as well. Please leave all your comments, questions, everything below. I want to read them all. And if you have any tips, tricks, experience in speed puzzling, definitely leave a comment below. For the love of puzzles, I hope you enjoy my videos. Please consider subscribing. And until next time, ciao!